Well, here we go. It is the season finale of season 15 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Where do the show go from here? We don't know. So many rumors. I'm probably going to do a YouTube live video, my very first live. Probably. We're going to pray tomorrow and just talk about some things with the show. So y'all stay tuned, but here we go. This is the finale. All right. So the first thing that we see is Sanya and Marlo. Sanya, she is in the hospital going to see Dr. Jackie, and she's just doing an ultrasound, just checking up on everything, making sure everything is okay with the baby. A lot of people online was ranting and raving about how they thought that Sanya's sister would have went with her or her mom, or maybe her husband. Which I understand that, but I wasn't tripping about the fact that Marlo was there. We all know they do scenes with the girls, and whether it's real or not, they put them together, and there you go. But Sanya and Marlo are seemingly real friends, so we'll go with that, I guess. So Marlo came, and it wasn't much to that scene. Do I want to go ahead and talk about? Yeah, I think I do. So later on, it was revealed that Sanya unfortunately had a miscarriage. She was off in New York. I think she said she was in New York or whatever. She was working, but she was by herself. It was just her and her team, some of her team, and she was noticing she was, starting to bleed and everything. And she said it was just a lot that was going on. She had to get a blood transfusion because she lost so much blood. So it's just been a lot for our dear Sanya. But in real time, she's pregnant. And so good for her. She's far along too. So, God do answer prayers. And it's just really horrible what happened to her. But everything happens in due time when it's supposed to happen. And I am very happy for Sanya and Ross on their new baby boy or girl. I don't think they've revealed yet what they're having. So hopefully they're having a girl, because I know they want a girl. So hopefully. Okay, so moving on from that, we have Ralph and Drew, child. Ralph came into the bedroom to see how Drew's doing. Apparently they have been sleeping in separate rooms. Because Ralph claims that he can't get no sleep, proper sleep. Drew has the bedroom temperature up too hot, and he likes it cooler. And they be arguing about that, and whatever. So he be sleeping in whatever else room, and he said he get good night's sleep and all that kind of stuff. I said, okay, Ralph. So he says, she asked him how he been doing. And he says, just super busy working. And then Drew says to him, yeah, I've been working real hard too. And Ralph was just like real smug, like, but you ain't doing nothing but sex scenes. Just real nasty and hateful and condescending and just, But he's been like that since we've been knowing him on the show. So like I've always said, I can imagine what Drew have gone through behind the scenes. And she said that he's always been, how we see Ralph now on the show, he's always been that way. So, Lord, bless her heart for taking it that long. That's all I can say, child. So then they got on Courtney, and Drew wanted to inform Ralph on Courtney calling her BITCH. Ralph's response was just like, well, all these girls have called you that, and why is it an issue that my cousin Courtney called you that? And Ralph was just like, well, you my husband, and if I don't rock with somebody, you don't rock with him. It's as simple as that. He was like, well, she didn't do nothing to me. I said, ooh. So then we go to the kitchen. We have Drew's assistant, one of her many. I don't know why Drew has like 4 assistants and stuff. Whatever. But we see Drew's assistant and her sister Allison. And Drew brought Allison up in. It was just like, well, Allison, you called Drew a BITCH. So, I mean, what's the problem? Allison was just like, now, wait a minute. First of all, that's my sister. Second of all, she don't like it. In the contents that you use, the BITCH, she didn't like it. So that's it. And it's as simple as that. Ralph didn't want to hear that, of course. He could care less. And child. So let me see. So Drew and Ralph, they actually had a scene later on where they met with Dr. Jeff. I think that was his name. And let me see. They met with Dr. Jeff, and they were talking about them sleeping in separate bedrooms. And Ralph brought up the fact that Drew's friend, they sleep in separate bedrooms, and they're living their best life. And Drew was also like, well, they also filed for divorce. And Ralph's response was, well, everybody files for divorce. I said, well, and then, Ralph, he overtalked Drew like he always do. Always gaslighting Drew, always making her out to make her look like she's stupid. And Dr. Jeff asked a very important question. He says, he said to Drew, or I think he said to both of them, but he says, is there somebody you really want to be with, really want to connect with? Like, is there something else? Because he's noticing just the huge disconnect between Ralph and Drew. And it's like, well, obviously, it's not just because of the temperature in the room, child, not the thermostat. It's not just because of that as to why you want to sleep in separate rooms. Like, you entertaining somebody else. And it's just as simple as that. I mean, like years ago when he went out of town to clear his head. Who goes out, talking about he was in Tampa, Florida, and then Atlanta. Who goes that far to clear their head? You can go right to the park. Like I said in my review, like, you can go over your cousin's house or something. Like, I don't understand. Bless her heart. Okay, what else is going on? We had a scene with Sheree and Tiana, or Tiara, her oldest daughter, and they talked about Bob, and Sheree is still sticking to the story that she did not know that Bob had another daughter. Okay, Sheree. Moving on from that, we have a scene with Kenya, Brooklyn, and Kenya's dad. Kenya's dad has always been blatantly honest with Kenya. Kenya expressed to her dad that she wants to try to have another baby. The daddy was like, well, you almost died last time, so what you got going on? And then she also said that she wants to use the embryos, and how legally she's able to use the embryos without Mark even knowing, like, because apparently that was in their divorce, whatever, or in their agreement. I don't know if that's the smartest idea, Kenya. I know you want your kid to have the same father, I'm sure, and all that, as your daughter. But I just don't think that's the smartest idea, because Mark is taking you through the ringer, sis. And to use one of his embryos, or to use your embryo that's connected with him, I just don't think y'all are divorcing, and now here's another baby that you have to be bothered with him with. And I don't know. I wouldn't do it personally, but I understand why you would do it. But that Mark is a lot, girl. It's a lot. Bless your heart. There was a brief scene, but she has decided to go ahead and do a surrogate, see if she is gonna, try to have another baby. So that's good. There was a scene with Marlo and Scottley. I found out that Scottley was on the Chef Ramsay show. What was it? The Iron Chef, whatever it's called. He was on one of those shows because he's a chef. He's a good cook, apparently. And so Marlo's just taking it nice and slow, like Usher. And, she's just trying to see where things go with Scottley, child. I think she really, really likes him, but, he's a lot younger than she is, and it's just certain things that he still does that she's not really into, because there's a lot of temptations and stuff there. But, I don't know. We're going to wish them the best, aren't we? Let's see. What else is going on? Okay, so we get to Candy's big event where she is having the screening for her movie, The Past, which Shamia is in, Drew is in, Monietta is in, and Candy herself is in. Todd created this movie. It's actually on Paramount Plus. If you guys want me to review the movie, I will. I'll do that. Yes, I was going to watch it with my mom, but it may be a little inappropriate to watch it with my mom, because I'm just a little boy, and, just wouldn't want my mom to know that I enjoy certain things. So yeah. So anyway, guys, we get to the event. Everybody's there, including Cynthia, including Akila. I think that's her name. Kenya's friend, um, who's a lovely girl, and Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce shows up. She walks up to Cynthia and looks for her rings. Child, we know Cynthia is divorced from Mike. Still old messy Mama Joyce, child. Candy hopes that Mama Joyce and Todd can continue on this good track. She seems to be in a supportive mood these days, and let us pray. That's all I gotta say. Ralph showed up, of course, because Drew's in the movie, and Drew also is having a performance. And Drew says that she's super confused by Ralph because Ralph shows up as a good husband to the naked eye, but behind the scenes and when he's not around the group, Ralph gives what he gives, right? Okay. We see a scene where Drew pulls Allison off to the side. No, we see a scene where Allison pulls Courtney off to the side to talk about her calling Drew her sister a bitch and the whole thing. Courtney denied it. Courtney was over it, etc. Like I said, the context in which, now I'm gonna get on Courtney in a minute, but the context that Courtney used the word bitch in regards to Drew was not that serious, in my opinion. Look, it was just in drunken conversation. It wasn't like, any kind of way, but whatever. So Drew performed. She did well. Yeah. Okay. So we're moving on. They had a continuation when they said when filming wrapped, and then they continue filming. So we have Marlo and Sheree on FaceTime. They're talking about this whole scandal, this whole thing with Drew and Ralph divorcing, and it was a whole situation with them because it was about who rushed to the divorce lawyers first, and apparently Drew got there first, and it was just a mess. Everybody was shocked by this news because to them everything was fine, right? And so there was a scene where Drew was getting her makeup done. Sheree came in there, and that's when we found out that Sheree's dad had passed away. So rest in peace to him. Sorry, Sheree. And she got emotional talking to Drew. And Drew's dad was sick at the time, but now he's passed away as well. So Drew has really just had a tough time recently. But Candy and Courtney, child, they seem to think that Drew is acting, and it's a lot. And as far as with the whole Raph thing, they think it's just a whole, child, we're gonna talk when it's time to talk, okay? So let me see. Drew gets in her confessional. She's super emotional, could barely talk. Ralph is very straightforward with his answers. You ask Ralph anything, it's very much, I gotta talk to my lawyers, and that's it, right? Drew seems to think that the whole Ty Young, but her sleeping with Ty, Mimi Foster's ex, she seems to think that is something that Ralph came up with. And Ralph put it out to try to come for her, in which I wouldn't put it past him. Ralph strikes me as a sneaky, conniving, messy. He strikes me as that type that will try to take you to the ringer and come for you in any which way, just cause, I hope that's not the truth, Ralph, but Ralph is child. Ooh, child, I swear you just don't know who you be with. I swear. Be sleeping with the enemy, my God. Had no idea. Why you didn't show me all this crazy shit from the beginning? Ooh. But like I said, the streets say that she be lied and that Drew be cut up. So I don't know. We gonna see. Courtney, child. Now listen, I've said in my reviews that I started to like Courtney over Monyetta because Courtney was more entertaining and she was giving more, and all Monyetta was giving chapstick because all the ass that she be kissing. But Courtney, you super dead wrong. Cousin Courtney, well, they just call you Courtney these days. Courtney, you dead ass wrong. She got in them confessionals and said that she's always heard that Drew was bisexual. She said that Drew what did I write down? Drew business. She said that Drew wanted Ralph to adopt her son, which is not by Ralph, the oldest one, so that she can go ahead and live her gay life with Ty. And she said all kind of stuff. They said that she talked about Allison's mental health situation. She didn't talk about it on the cameras, but they said she talked about it with Candy, because Candy had to speak on it with Courtney on them. And or she just briefly, skimmed over it and made fun of it, rather. It's just been a mess. Courtney, that was so nasty and unnecessary. And why do you know so much about Drew? Why are you so much in that marriage? They just discovered that you're Ralph's cousin. And there's no DNA test to prove that we done seen. So why is you so much in that marriage? A lot of people saying they think Ralph and Courtney messing around. And say they're kissing cousins. I said, well, I don't want to put that out there. But I guess I just did. That's what they say. It's alleged. It's allegedly. But that's what they say. I said, well, they said that Courtney is the other woman. At least one of them. But anyway, it was just ugly and nasty. And so this thing with Ralph and Drew is just, it's not over. It's not over, darlings. Okay, and then they had the whole scenes where they talked about what they're doing and yada to the yada. Kenya Moore, she did she had a conversation with Carlos King, and do I want to talk about that now? Let me think. You know what? I think I'm gonna do a separate video and talk about that, because I don't want to make this video too long. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do a separate video talking about Kenya with Carlos King, because yeah. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do a video live tomorrow, YouTube live, and we're just gonna discuss, I guess, the future of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They should bring back, what should they do, etc. There's a lot of rumors going on out there, so we shall talk about it. Is there a time I can give you? Not really. But y'all just try to stay tuned, child, for your boy. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google+. Follow me at Skinsworth on Instagram and Twitter, at Skinsworth89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. Chasey Boy on TikTok. That's Chasey Boy with, is it 2 Y's? I think it's 2 Y's. I think. 1 Y, 2 Y, I don't know, child. Just type it in, you'll find me. And yeah, and as always, stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching Real Housewives of Atlanta with me. The reunion is coming up, and many more Real Housewives of Atlanta tea to come. Run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.